Shields up, Iron Breakers. Welcome back to Granblue Fantasy Relink, and today I'm going to be bringing you my Vane guide. Vane is one of my favorite characters in this game for 3 reasons. He is one of the tankiest characters in the game, and if you know anything about me, you know that I like being on the front lines, I like being the tank, I like being the one to receive the punishment so that my teammates can go out and dish out the DPS. I always prefer playing the tank role when it comes to MMOs. And that's definitely one of the reasons why I like Vane. Now, the other reason, you can see it right here. Look at this gorgeous weapon. This is his Terminus weapon, okay? It's got this big hammer with lightning effects, and you guys are like, wait, big hammer? Lightning effects? Are we talking about Mjolnir? Yes, Mjolnir, Thunderous Crusher. For those of you that are not aware, Mjolnir is Thor's hammer, which is friggin' awesome. It's one of my favorite hammer designs, just a big slab of iron on top of a stick. Even though the stick's a little bit long for my liking, usually I like my hammers to be one-handed weapons. I find them to be really cool looking that way. But I understand that Vane, he likes wielding his halberds. That's why the hammer is this big, which is fine. I appreciate it. I just still like swinging this hunk of metal around. It's beautiful. And finally, the third reason why I really like Vane is he just has a big F-off shield that makes your whole team invincible so long as they stand inside the shield. This is great. It allows you to skip certain boss mechanics. It's one of the biggest advantages that Vane has. Not only skip the boss mechanics, it also allows your characters to continue attacking said boss whilst the boss is doing like maybe an overdrive phase or something like that, which is friggin' awesome as far as I'm concerned. And it is also very useful when you are progressing through the game's multiple challenges that it will throw at you once you start reaching endgame. However, as you reach endgame and you take a look at that video that I made that helps you make your characters a little bit tankier, the utility of this shield is going to become a little bit less important. However, with the introductions of fights such as Lucilius, maybe some people will wish they had a Vane on their team to help them skip some of the mechanics that boss is surely going to throw at us. But anyways, this is why I really like Vane. This is some of the stuff that Vane excels at. So let's go ahead and talk about the basics of Vane. So, Vane has 2 attacks, which are his primary attack and secondary attack, or primary attack and combo finisher. And I'm going to be referring to those as square and triangle if you're playing on PC. I believe that they link to left mouse button and right mouse button, but make sure to check your key bindings. Basically, this would be your basic attack, and this is your combo finisher, okay? So, square and triangle, I'm going to be referring to them as square and triangle moving forward, so just keep that in mind if you're on PC. My apologies, but I'm only playing on PS5, so it is what it is. Now, continuing onwards, your basic combo can extend up to 3 hits. That's 1, 2, 3. And on the 3rd hit, you can see that we now have a little bit of a gauge going on there. Because you see, this character just speaks to me on such a fundamental level that even this character's gauge has an amazing name. That gauge is called the Beatdown Gauge. And the guy's like, no, there's no way. You're joking. Nope. Proof of Valor allows Vane to perform powerful triangle combos by consuming the Beatdown Gauge. Bro, fundamental level, okay? I love this character. He's freaking awesome. So, the way that you're supposed to fill that gauge is not just to repeat your 3-hit combo over and over. Naturally, you want to incorporate your combo finisher, which in this case is going to involve pressing triangle twice at the end of your 3-hit combo. So 1, 2, 3, now triangle for the secondary attack, combo finisher, boom, and you get that. And that is also going to fill up your gauge some more. Now, this is not the only combo that you can do, as you can finish Vane's combo at any point. So you can go 1 hit into combo finisher, or 2 hits into combo finisher, and you get different animations. Now, the idea in most situations is for you to basically see how many basic attacks can I get away with before I need to finish my combo because the boss is moving away or because the boss is doing an attack. And you're like, wait a minute, finish your combo when the boss is doing an attack? Yes, that is one of the properties of Vane. If you actually look here, the Dragon Within allows Vane to block a foe's attack with a perfectly timed triangle attack without being interrupted. What this means is that when you're doing your triangle attacks, you're also blocking. Which, as I've told you before in my basic guide, well, I don't know if I said in my basic guide or my Eugen guide, but blocking is really, really good. And a lot of people underestimate the importance of blocking. So basically, if you doing your triangle attacks count as blocking, that means that if a boss is about to come at you, you can actually just go straight into your combo finisher and block him. It also means that when you are doing the beatdown combo, which is when you fill up the entirety of your beatdown gauge, you're basically blocking all of the attacks, which is pretty freaking sweet. Now, the fastest way to fill the beatdown gauge, should you wish to fill it fast, is actually just to do the one-tap combo. So that would be square into 2 triangles. This is the fastest way, just cycling through this. Sorry, I get a little bit excited. Just cycling through this is the fastest way because I've timed it. However, I don't think that this is the best way of playing. Usually what you want to do is you want to go for the 3. 1, 2, 3 into 2 triangle attacks, because it also dishes out more damage. It feels just overall more efficient. So the idea is, see how many hits of your basic combo you can get away with before you need to engage with the with your combo finisher. Now, once the gauge is full like that, the other thing that you're supposed to do is you just mash triangle. And remember, during this whole combo, you're going to be blocking attacks. So we're going to mash this, and you're going to get all of these attacks going. Now, the reason you only want to do this when the gauge is full is because if you do it earlier, you don't get to do this finisher. You can only do this finisher if your gauge is entirely full. But now, your whole thing is not just about doing combo finishers, because you can follow up your link attacks with the combo finishers, and you can follow up your skill attacks with the combo finishers as well. So say, for instance, I use a skill like this one. I can follow it up with my combo finisher. If I do a link attack, I can follow that up with the combo finisher. So, as you can see, Vane is going to be flipping all over the place doing combo finishers nonstop, which is pretty cool because his combo finishers also give him a little bit of a heal, and on top of it, they also block. It's just good times all around. And depending on whether or not you complete the entirety of the beatdown gauge, you will also gain Stout Heart effect, which is also very good before you get access to the Stout Heart Sigil, which again just is one of the things that makes him one of the tankiest characters that can take a lot of punishment, and he can just stand on the boss's face delivering all the deeps in the world, which is fantastic. Now, he also happens to be one of the characters that, in my opinion, the way that I build him, at least, he doesn't really deal that much damage, but that's because I built him as a tank. I built this character specifically so that I can be up in the boss's face and dish out damage. Now, can you build him for damage? You can. You would have to use some specific skills, stuff like that, and you would have to maybe reduce some of the tankiness that I put on him. But, you know, I'm going to leave that up to you guys to experiment with. I'm just telling you all the stuff that Vane can do. So now let's go ahead and let me show you guys what this actually looks like when you are engaging a target so that you can see what the 60-second rotation would look like. Now, in my case, I'm actually using some skills mostly for the purpose of getting aggro like this. This is my hostility skill, but I still wanted to show you guys what that looks like. So we're going to do his big skill that deals a ton of damage. Going to go into Link Attack, going to go into the follow-ups. Next, I'm going to go into the Rift Divider or whatever it is called. And at the end of it, we're going to do another triangle attack. And now we're going to go for the 3-hit combo. Into the combo finisher. Our gauge is getting fulled up. We're going to get a link attack here, followed with a combo finisher. The gauge is full. We're going to go into the beatdown combo. Completely unload everything we have on this dummy. And basically just continue the rotation from here. Link attack. Into another finisher. It's just so much fun. You get into this flow when it comes to Vane that it just feels nice to play. So we got 14 million. Usually I can get up to 15 if I'm trying really hard. And you can get better results than this with different sigils. But the thing is, I don't play Vane to be like a testing dummy character, right? So for starters, let's go ahead and take a look at his skills as well as the skills that I am using, right? So when it comes to Vane's skills, the skill that I really like to use is Rift Divider. This is a big damage skill attack. However, you're going to need an opening because Vane doesn't really move. This is also very good for AoE mobs because it has like this vacuum effect that pulls foes towards you, but only like weaker monsters, right? This doesn't really work that well on bosses. So this is one of my favorite skills, deals a ton of damage, and it's a ton of fun. Like the animations on Vane are really satisfying, particularly once you get his Terminus weapon because it's just like big hammer swinging nonstop on people's faces. Love it. it, right? The other skill that I use is Energy Destruction. Powerful sweeping attack deals more damage based on how full your SBA gauge is. I've seen this attack do as high as 1.9 million damage. I believe you can probably reach even higher, but like I said, I built him tanky. I like him tanky, and you guys will see just how tanky this bad boy gets, right? So this is the other skill that I use. Rampart is the shield. If you want to build him more offensively, this is probably one of the first skills that you want to remove because, you know, when you're casting this skill, you're just sitting there not dealing damage. So if you want to be more offensive, this is not the one to take, but this is also probably his most iconic skill, I would imagine. And then the buff skill that I use is this one. Now, this gives us 30% attack. That's not the reason I do it, because as with most characters, it's fairly easy for you to reach damage cap. So the reason I use it is hostility. I can just grab aggro of everything, which is particularly useful when I'm playing with friends, even when I'm playing with NPCs, because I can just keep everything's aggro and I can actually tank, just like if I was in an MMO, which is pretty cool. Now, you also have Arm Destruction. This is one of the skills that you want to use if you want to play a more offensive Vane. This is also very good because it deals a bunch of stun damage, which is good for breaking parts and whatnot, and also getting to link attacks faster. Even though that's not super important in endgame, you know, how fast you get to a link attack, breaking parts still is for bonus rewards and stuff like that. So, you know, it's a pretty good skill. Then you have Heroic Beat, which is your gap closer, and it also heals you a little bit whenever you do it. So, mostly a gap closing skill. But the thing is, if you're building an offensive Vane, you want to have all of these offensive skills. So Heroic Beat, Arm Destruction, Rift Divider, and Energy Destruction. When you get to endgame, that is. Because before you get to endgame, you might find some usefulness in the attack skills like this one that increases your attack by 30% because you probably haven't reached the damage cap when you're still going through the game. Then we have Soul Eruption, which increases it even more, but you need to be below 30% HP. So this means you actually have to take damage, and then you can use this skill. And it increases your attack by a ton and your defense by a ton. Then we have the Drachenstolz, which basically gives you guts as well as 30% attack, 30% defense. Guts, you know, it says the same thing, does the same thing as the skill, which is whenever you get hit, you're going to survive with 1 HP left. So it's a nice skill again while you're doing progression, but I feel like at the end game it's not as important because there's just better things that you can use to stay alive. But hey, feel free to use it if you're up for it. But like I said, these are the skills that I like using. Rift Divider, Energy Destruction, Rampart, and Breakthrough. And if you really want to go ham and play a more offensive Vane, Arm Destruction and Heroic Beat would replace Rampart and Breakthrough, right? These are his skills. Now let's take a look at weapons. So we're going to go into the masteries here, and we can see the collection. The very first weapon they're going to give you is the Alabarda. This is your HP weapon, and with him being a tank, I would recommend, you know, max out this weapon to get that 5,000 hit points that you can get at the end there. It's pretty nice, and again, it's the first weapon that you get, so it's whatever. I believe that the first weapon that unlocks for him, the first additional weapon, is going to be the Swan, which gives you additional bonus stun. So I don't really think that this weapon is super important. So if you're not looking to spend too many resources when it unlocks, you don't have to necessarily play with this weapon. I think that one of the first weapons, if you're playing Vane as like your main character or something like that, right? When the weapons begin unlocking after you finish the story, the first one that I would work on would be this one, Ukon Vasara. So this is your crit weapon. You guys might be wondering, but Rurikhan, you always recommend the weak point damage weapon. Yes, that is because most characters can afford to just like circle behind the boss, hit weak spots, do all of this stuff. But Vane is going to be in the boss's face. So you might not always be able to hit weak points or hit from behind or whatever. So you want something more consistent, so therefore you get critical damage, critical rate, all of that good stuff, and you will still pump out a significant amount of damage. So Ukon Vasara is probably the first weapon that you want to take the max. Then you might want to work on your Truer Krieger to get, not Truer Krieger, your Alabarda to get some more HP. Truer Krieger is obviously going to be his Ascension weapon. If you want to level that up before you get your Terminus, feel free to. But me personally, I always just go grind for the Terminus as fast as I possibly can. And the other weapons, just get those in time whenever you see fit. But naturally, at the end, you want to have your Terminus weapon, and that's going to be the same thing for every single character because damage cap is king currently in the game. So like I said, at the start, feel free to upgrade your Alabarda as much as you want. Then once stuff gets unlocking, go get the Ukon Vasara. That would be my recommendation. I mean, feel free to take whatever weapon you want at the end of the day, but if you want to know what I would do, I'd go Ukon Vasara and then eventually start leveling up the other things after I get the Ukon Vasara all the way up. those would be my choices when it comes to his weapons. Now, let's talk masteries. When it comes to masteries as offensive stuff, I'm obviously going to be getting, you always should prioritize sigil slots, so try to get those sigil slots up as much as possible. When it comes to the other skills, I would improve the Rift Divider as much as possible, as well as the taunting skill, because I still feel like Vane's, one of the best usefulnesses of Vane is to be able to taunt enemies. I forget which one it is. Is it this one? Yeah, Breakthrough. You want to get Breakthrough and upgrade Breakthrough as much as you can, and also get your energy destruction up as much as you can. So everything else I would leave towards the end if you're still struggling with your the amount of MSP that you have available or whatever. Just get some passive attack nodes and stuff like that. And as a matter of fact, for Vane, you probably want to prioritize your defense masteries to begin with because you want him tanking. So get that taunt attack, the taunt skill as fast as you possibly can, the breakthrough skill. And then after that, start leveling up some defenses. That's going to be important. Don't really care too much about the defensive skills that he gets, except for Rampart. Obviously get Rampart up as much as you can. Still unlock your sigil slots, all that stuff. But other than that, just stick to your passive defensives. That would be the way that I would do it. But naturally, by the end, you want to have everything, right? Once you get to Overmastery, there's really no big recommendations here. As per usual, you want to get your normal attack damage cap up by 20%, which is max. Definitely want to get that. Now, I was lucky enough to get that with critical rate up by 20%, which is gorgeous. The only other better scenario here would be to get some more skill damage alongside that, maybe even some more skill damage caps. That would also be very good. But I'm very happy with just 20% normal attack up as well as critical rate attack up. But that's, when it comes to masteries, that is what I would shoot for. And then finally, when it comes to his gear, we have the Terminus weapon. Like I said, that's always the one that you take. It is at plus 75. If you guys watched my previous video on how to make your characters more survivable, you'll know exactly why that is. If you didn't, the reason behind that is because whenever it comes to my characters, I like using Crab Vestment Returns coupled together with Stout Heart as well as Steel Nerves to grant us a bunch of damage reduction. So all of these things coupled together give you tons of damage reduction. I haven't even done the math on it, but I think it's like close to 40% damage reduction or something like that. I don't know. It's something ridiculous, right? So you're going to have a ton of damage reduction. And then on top of it, we're also going to be having Drain, because one of my critical hit sigils comes with Drain. I would definitely recommend Drain on him as well. When it comes to the signature sigil that I'm using Hero's Creed, even though I would love to get Hero's Will, but the thing about Hero's Will, and by the way, if you're playing a more offensive Vane, you definitely don't need this, because this is, again, more damage reduction after you land a combo finisher for 15 seconds. That's damage taken minus 20%, which stacks on top of all the other stuff that you already have. I believe multiplicatively, not additively, for anybody that wants to bother do the math on that. But yeah, tons of damage reduction. I like to build him super tanky. You might want to get Hero's Will, again, if you want to build him offensive. What that does is it reduces the cooldowns whenever you land combo finishers. It reduces all your cooldowns by 3%, which allows you to stay on the offensive with skills and combo finishers after skills because of the way that his mechanics work, right? But anyways, I'm playing him defensive, like I said, so that's what we're going for. Naturally, we still have War Elemental here. I have like 5 of these now because I've been lucky with the Curios. So yeah, good stuff. Obviously, you want to have that on whatever is your main character. With our Steel Nerves, we also have Guts to increase a little bit of tankiness. With our critical hit rate, we have Drain. Again, tankiness, good stuff. And then when it comes to his... the 2 offensives that I actually get, because obviously you're going to need 4 damage caps fully maxed out. Well, 3 of them maxed out, because if you have a maxed out Terminus weapon, the 4th one doesn't need to be maxed out. But on one of them I have Regen, on the other one I have Auto Revive, on the other one I have Uplift, and on the other one I have Drain. So this is what we're working for. And then the final 2 sigils that you can use for damage, I actually went and used them for stun power, because I just like the idea of Vane breaking stuff. Vane is going to be in the monster's face, busting him up non-stop. I like him breaking things. So we went with Stun Power and Stamina, which is also increases our damage significantly. Then we have Stun Power and Link together, because I noticed that my Link attacks were not dealing as much damage as I would like. So I was like, you know what, let's increase that a little bit, So that is why I built them this way. These are my sigil choices. Feel free to experiment with it, but, kind of feel like you kind of understand what I'm going for. And on the topic of the plus 75 on the Mjolnir, if you look at my health pool, if you go anything above 75, it is going to, make our HP go past the 45,000, which then is going to negate the catastrophe passive bonus of the Terminus weapon. So basically, I reduce the Mirage munitions, which makes the damage reduction that you lose from that is almost negligible, unless you're like a super, no, I gotta be dealing all the damage all the time, then fine, max that out and get Tyranny or something like that to reduce your hit points below the threshold. But I like keeping my hit points as close to the threshold as possible because, once again, if you didn't understand, I like my boy Vane to be tanky as all hell. So let's show you guys an example of what this particular build and what Vane can do when it comes to being a big, tanky, meaty boy. And in the last video that I did, we fought Pietà, so I figured we might as well go and fight the evil Black Worm. That is actually one of the fights that I don't tend to do very often, so there's a high chance that we're going to get our faces smashed in. But at the same time, that's one of the beauties of it. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? I don't. We don't actually do any editing in here. We just jump in and we hope for the best. So, this is the Black Dragon. He deals a ton of damage. He's got a bunch of slow stuff, which is actually quite annoying. But he also has a wicked-ass soundtrack, so it's cool. Alright. So, I already know that at the beginning, this dude usually does his little AoE nonsense. Yep, there it is. So, we're going to go ahead and dodge that. And I like smacking him with one of his own orb things. Oh, nice little breath attack you got there, buddy. No, hit this. Thank you. We grab this. Eat it at him. He's going to hit us, which is fine. Going to go for the link attack. Follow it up with a combo finisher. Big attack. 1.6 million right there. We're going to go for the Rift Divider. Oh, man. He really moved away for that. That's okay. We're just going to tank everything you throw at us. Ooh, I need to move away, though. It's getting a little bit dangerous. I would still rather not heal because there's a reason why we play a tank, right? Let's go ahead and actually even taunt him. Make sure that we maintain aggro. We have, like, passive provoke as well, but... Okay, you happy now? Can I go and hit you? Why don't you just leave these puddles of slow, dude? That is so annoying. I was trying to throw the thing at him. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead. Ooh! Auto revive proc right there. Oh god! Bro! Evil Black Worm trying to make me look bad over here. Bro, please stop. Listen. I'm showing the people that Vane is one beastly tank, and he's going to take all the punishment you throw at him. Because he doesn't give a damn. We're going to go for that link attack. There it is, link attack. And we're going to go straight into beatdown combo. And remember, we're going to be blocking everything while we're doing this. So we should be fine. Aw, man. He's going to do his big ability. So I'm just going to be like, no, I don't care. I don't care. I do not care. Evil Black Worm, I'm going to sit here in the middle of all your mechanics, and I'm going to soak up all of this. I could have even stood on that, too. But it's fine. That's quite enough tanking for now. That's quite enough padding of our numbers with our defensive skill. Vane gets so many points for doing nonsense like that, by the way. Ah, that was beautiful. Now I'm going to taunt you. Whoa, he's big mad. Hey, yo. Listen, buddy. How about I just smack you in the mouth for that one? Huh? Boom. Into the link attack. Into the follow-up. Bro, I hate the little slow puddles, though. They're so annoying. Okay, we'll block this one. Oh, he actually broke our gauge. That's pretty beastly. This was not smart, but we got a break. Yay, we're still hitting in the wings. Lovely. Hit, please, please hit. I don't think I hit that last hit, which kind of sucks, because that's where the big damage comes from in this skill. Bro, can you stop with the slow nonsense? It's not funny anymore. I don't want it. Oh, you bastard. Oh, there's a big one. We got to get rid of this one. Screw it. Get his ass. And get hit with your own thing while we're at it. Boom! And now we get to do the beatdown gauge thing. And link attack. And that's over for you, buddy. It's all over. It's all over! Actually, I'm gonna go for Rift Divider here. It's all ogre now, baby! Boosh! Into the big finisher. Ooh! And back to the combo. See, this is what it's like to play Vane. We did die once, because I haven't fought the evil Blackworm in a very long time. But this is the Vane experience. Sometimes I even like calling him Vane the Train, because he's such a friggin' beast. But yeah, I like Vane. Vane's a whole lot of fun. Hopefully this guide helps you understand Vane better. Hopefully you guys enjoy him. Let me know how you play Vane. If you like playing him more offensive, if you like playing him more defensive, if you like this tanky playstyle, let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like button, subscribe, bell notification icon, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong, stay safe. Peace out.